Hakadosh Boker Tov. We're just continuing with the halachot of the Prozbol. Yesterday in the morning, if you remember, we did the Prozbol already, and there's just a few other halachot that we wanted to mention. Somebody that forgot to do the Prozbol during the year of Shemitah, and he only remembers on Erev Rosh Hashanah, Samuch LaShekiyah. So he's just remembering right by the Shekiyah time that he cannot write anymore Prozbol. So what he has to do is he's going to say in front of two witnesses the nusach of the Prozbol in order that he could collect his debt, which means right now he cannot write anymore. But still he could come and he could actually say over the nusach, the version, the text, and that will be enough as long as he's doing it in front of two witnesses. The same halacha would apply if you remember after the Shekiyah, during Min HaShmashot, he could also do the exact same thing. To do with the bank, it's brought down the Minalei bank, they're obligated to do a Prozbol in order to collect, right? We're talking about different debts. Nevertheless, it's enough to do one as a general one. So all you have to do is one as in general. You don't have to do one for separate for all the chovot the bank. Nevertheless, they do say that if you want, you can make a shaliach to do a Prozbol for all the chovot snif a bank, for all the different branches in itself. That's if you want, you're able to do it. Another important halacha is that what happens now if it already passes Rosh Hashanah and now, right, you come to pay back a loan and the person did not do a Prozbol. So since he didn't do a Prozbol, so what's going to happen? So he has to say mishametani. He has to say, I already did Shemitah, I already cancelled it out. Why? Vezet devara Shemitah. Devara Shemitah means alidei dibur, that you have to come and you have to say. Now, if he says afal pichen, right, I still want to that you should accept it from me, right? So therefore he comes and he says, so then he comes and he says, it's going to be like a matana, and therefore he's allowed to do it. So now he says, if right now you're going to give it back in such a fashion, he says, Ruach HaChamim nocha imenu, v'tzarich hamal velomar lemachzir meshametani. But he still has to say meshametani, which means you understand that right now you're not obligated to pay. The only thing is, if you want to give me a present, you could always give me a present, but you're not obligated to pay, because mitzad halacha, that's it, you're already done. Now, if the person did not do a Prozbol, so then the loved does not have to pay him back, unless he wants to do like what we just mentioned before. Now, if you want to anyway want to do midat chasidut, and you want to do shmitat ksafim, which means that after the Prozbol, so after yesterday, you come and you lend money. And then afterwards, you want to say, Mishametani, and I fulfill the mitzvah. If you want to do that, you have to make sure, though, that then when you're going to do that, you make that the time of the paying back is before Rosh Hashanah. But if you give a stam alvah is for 30 days. So therefore, what you have to do is, right, is he comes and he says, and then he's going to come and he's going to say, right, mishametani, right, which means that I'm canceling off the loan. If somebody's not going to, this is the last halacha, if somebody's not going to lend money out before shechita because he's afraid that afterwards what's going to happen is it's going to get cancelled out, he's over on a negative commandment, shneimar, hisham elecha, right? You have to be careful. V'chet gadolu, it's a very grave sin, but the Torah tells us in two different lavim. Hisham lecha pen, he says, anytime when it says hisham and pen, it's a mitzvah lo ta'aseh. So therefore he comes and he says, and it's calling him even a Belial. So therefore the Torah comes and it says, Naton titen lo, you should give him. Don't think that your heart should not be bad in the fact that you're going to lend him out the money. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says for sure he's going to get schar, the mitzvah ba'olam hazeh. Why? So therefore it's very important not to come and say, you know what, I'm not going to lend out money just in case, it's going to get cancelled out, this and that. No. What you're doing is you're going to be able to do it in such a fashion that you're doing it, and now you have the Prozbol in order that you get out of any problems of the Yitzhara, that you're not going to lend out money.